fear, darkness, and even death. Those were the forces that ruled Equestria for thousands and thousands of years. Until the princesses came and set Equestria straight. That's the way things have been for a very, very long time. Until one tragic night where everything just crashed. Canterlot Castle, standing for over thousands of years, had finally came down, taking all the princesses with them, except for one. Princess Twilight Sparkle had survived the disaster, but only because she could see the castle collapse in her head. She had envisioned it, and she just cheated death, taking her 5 other friends and one royal guard escorting her out with him. They had all cheated death. Many months go by. Twilight is now the princess of Equestria. Things finally started to go straight, but not for long. One day, one of her best friends is killed in a tragic accident, and then another friend after that, and another, and another. Then Twilight notices a pattern. They're all dying in the order they would have if they'd stayed at the gala. Could she have cheated death? She did. But did they? Death has to even things out and finally take out all the survivors. Until there are none left. And then death has set things straight again. But can death be cheated more than once? Some of us will never know. Princess Twilight Sparkle, Flash Century, Sunset Shimmer, Rarity, Applejack, Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash, and Pinkie Pie all survived this tragic accident, but will they survive for much longer? Find out in the final destination. Hey everypony, I'm Ash, and welcome to my first cast calling video. Now, I know you've probably heard my very dramatic intro there. I actually didn't script any of that, so it probably sounded horrible. And I'm also a bit sick right now, so my voice sounds a lot more raspy than it usually is. Anyway, I actually just finished up my first fanfic. It's going to be posted on Fanfiction at some point once the audio series is over. It's called My Little Pony and the Final Destination. Now, if you don't know what the Final Destination series is, I recommend looking it up because I'm probably going to do a horrible job explaining it. But anyway, a group of people usually get together for some big project or a big get-together or something. And then one of them has a premonition that something is going to happen. Something tragic is going to happen. If you don't know what a premonition is, it's like a vision where you can see into the future. The person who has the premonition, and usually a smaller group of people, leave the scene. And then the premonition comes true, and lots of people can lose their lives. But that doesn't mean that death is finished with them yet. Usually, all the survivors start dying in weird accidents, and they die in the order they would have if they had stayed where they were before the premonition. Until death finally evens everything out by killing all the survivors. That's basically an overview of the Final Destination series. Now, I've wanted to do a series like this related to My Little Pony for a really long time, maybe since around the Final Destination came out. That's Final Destination 4, if anyone didn't know. This took a lot of time to write, and I'm really relieved that I finally got it completed. But for this reading to work, I cannot do voiceovers. I am the absolute worst at them. When you're a boy, you can't really do girl voices, and in My Little Pony, a big majority of voices are girls, so that doesn't really work for me. So I've decided to start a cast calling video, where I'm going to ask people if they will voice characters for this series. So without further ado, let's get started. There's a Google Doc listed below in the description. All the rules, regulations, and equipment you'll need, and how to audition, and where to send your audition to, will all be in the description. Document below. Though I'm going to go over a bit of it on my own, just to give everyone a quick preview of what you'll have to expect. This is a large project, and I'll need as much help as I can get. Though I do have due dates for everything. Everything must be turned in on time on the exact date, no later. I don't want to have to remove anyone from this project, but if it has to come to that, I'll just have to deal with it. Though I will be narrating the story on my own, I'll be reading a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't actually involve characters talking. Although, if you are going to qualify for a lead role, you will have much larger scripts than all the side characters, or minor characters. I am going to mention this now, that Twilight Sparkle, Flash Sentry, and Pinkie Pie have the biggest lead roles. Every other character has a minor role, but still plays a good part in the story. Now to move on to the first section of... First, starting off with VAs, or voice actors. This story does contain canon characters. There are no original characters. However, I will be writing stories in the future that do contain original characters. However, this story right now, we're sticking with what am I saying? We're sticking with canon characters. The characters that will be featured is Twilight Sparkle, Flash Sentry, Sunset Shimmer, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Pinkamena, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, and Applejack. Those will be our canon characters for this reading. I'm not looking for impressionists. I'm looking for voice actors, but I still wish to get auditions that sound relatively close to the main six, Sunset Shimmer and Flash Sentry. There will be other characters in this story, like the princesses, Shining Armor, and even some other side characters. But I'll launch a different file for those. I'll just post some auditions on the cast calling website listed in the description if you wish to volunteer for some of those. However, to qualify to be a voice actor, you must have a relatively decent microphone. So no laptop microphones. I highly recommend USB microphones, ones that plug into your computer. I also recommend having a pop filter. If you don't know how to make one, you can make one using an embroidery ring, some very thin material like... Actually, I don't know what kind. I bought my pop filter. And some wire. If you need to, go onto YouTube and look up how to make a pop filter. They're very simple and very cheap to make. If for a worst case scenario, I am going to note that there is language in this story. Most of the language is going to be featured around Pinkamena and Rarity, and maybe a little bit in Applejack. It's been a while since I read this story last, but I'm pretty sure Applejack has some language too. All the other characters do not use any language. So, for voice actors, for Pinkamena, Rainbow Dash, and Applejack, I highly recommend them being 16 and up. You don't have to sound 16, you just have to be 16. I'm really trusting that whoever voice acts Rainbow Dash, Applejack, or Pinkamena will be honest. I don't want to have to remove anyone from this project. I'm also looking for some artists for this story. I don't want anything too flashy that it takes away from the story. Just a good base picture. To audition for an artist, I must see 3 images of your finest art. However, I am only accepting digital art, no hand-drawn art. Once you are casted as an artist, I will send you the story and an overview of what the picture should look like. However, you can get creative with it. I'm just throwing out some suggestions. For the photo of the chapter, I was thinking on drawing a picture of what the pictures that Twilight took look like. The photo will show how each character is going to die. So I recommend reading the story and reading how each character is going to die. And then create an image that has a clue that shows how each character is going to die. However, I must see 3 images of your finest art. And they must be digital, or I will not accept them. Again, please read the Google document to get all the rules and to know what to do and how to apply for auditioning. I believe that's all for now. Good luck, everyone. Peace out.